Okay, so I'm ready. I have these handouts posted on Google Classroom. It has so many different types of doors and windows, and you can get lots of inspiration from these. These are super simple ones that you can add to, and they have much more complicated things as well. So let's say I'm just going to stick with a basic window right now, and I can add to it later. So on this piece, I know that I'm going to want windows about right here, and maybe I would have had them about right here. So that looks about right. You can measure them to make sure. Oh, look at that. It's about an inch. It's about an inch. That's a good eye. So line up your ruler to your edges, to your vertical lines, so you know you are even. So your world isn't shaking. Okay. And then I'm going to every, say, inch, then I'll skip a half an inch, do an inch, skip a half an inch, do an inch, skip a half inch, do an inch. I'm just marking where I would like my windows so they're even, the bottoms of my windows to be. I think I skipped that one. So about here. So for me, they're going to be all different depending on what you're doing. In between, I wouldn't have windows. So here I have window, window. This was marked off wrong. And about right here. Looks about right. So that's how I'll start. Adding windows. I'm using my ruler. I'm not just randomly drawing them because you want them to be as neat as possible in the beginning. And then I might stop there actually and do a door down here. So my door is going to be larger. I'm going to do a really big door because I want sort of a grand entrance. So I could stop there. That is okay before you do pen. I could decide that I wanted to add some window frames to this. Details are fantastic, but you don't want to get so detailed before. You can always add pen. This looks a little thick. There we go. So I basically added, I would say, enough detail that when I traced it over with my pen, I had a place to go. Because with pen, you are not going to be using a ruler anymore. So you want to have, especially if you have these straight lines, you want to have those really sketched or drawn, I should say, not really sketched, because you want to make sure you have a good line to follow. But as soon as you start getting into texture, like for example, if I was going to make this building brick, I am not going to draw with pencil every single brick. I will do that later. And then I might want the center of my window. Maybe I want, actually. Always think about thickness. I'm just going to do a little slot, a little in the center of the window for my detail. And maybe that's it for this building for now. As far as windows goes, I could do definitely some thickness on the door frame, maybe even thicker than this. And if I was going to add wood grain to this, for example, I'm not going to do it with pencil. I'm going to wait and add pen here. Same with the doors. But if I have like a framed out door, I probably want to add that detail with pencil so I have a good place to follow. A good line to follow, I should say. Ooh, like that. That's not a good line. So make sure whenever you're using, I was lining up to that line when I have my, and to these, my ruler. And if you're lining up horizontally, you can always use your edge or of the edge of the paper, because you can see this line above isn't as straight. So you want to always check your lines. And maybe this would be, I don't know, a window as well in here. Maybe, we'll see. I could change that if I want. And then as far as that would maybe be it for what I do. And then I would go around and I would do these on, add windows and doors on all of my pieces. I could even do details like adding flower boxes, or even balconies. And that's the kind of thing it would sort of wrap around into the distance like that. That's the kind of thing you would want to add before, because it's something you want to get the lines correct. I'm adding like a little grate, I guess. So lines that don't have thickness will look strange. Like if I just put line and I didn't make them thick like that, they will be a little thicker like that. And then it's so much more interesting when you add different layers like that. So be inspired by all of these. There's like, for example, look at this. How cool is that? You could take a window and just changing the top like this and maybe putting an arc above it. You can put curtains in windows. You can make these cool balconies, and they're so different. There's so many different ideas here that you can pull from. So definitely use these and they will inspire your art. Have fun.